You did it. You achieved what most would consider the pinnacle of success, standing alone in your hotel room, trophy in hand, but you feel a hollowness that no achievement could fill. The celebration downstairs continues without you. Dozens of people who want to congratulate you, network with you, be seen with you. Yet there you stand, alone, feeling more isolated than ever before. This paradox haunts the ambitious. The higher you climb, the fewer people surround you who truly understand your journey. Have you ever wondered why so many highly successful people talk about loneliness? Or why Hemingway said, "Happiness in intelligent people is the rarest thing I know"? Tonight, I'm going to reveal the hidden price of ambition, a toll that isn't listed on the brochure when you set out to change your life or the world. The link between extraordinary achievement and isolation isn't coincidental. Understanding this relationship might be the most important insight you need to hear if you're on the path to exceptional achievement, or if you're already there, wondering why success feels so different than you imagined. The journey begins innocently enough. You have a vision others cannot see. While they're satisfied with the status quo, something inside you burns for more. This divergence is the first fracture in what will become a growing chasm between you and others. I remember when I first felt this separation. While my friends planned weekend parties, I'd slip away to work on projects that captivated me. Each choice to pursue my ambition was simultaneously a choice to step away from the common path. These micro-decisions compound over time. Nietzsche captured this phenomenon perfectly. He who climbs upon the highest mountains laughs at all tragedies, real or imaginary. What he didn't mention was the thinning air at those heights and how few can breathe there with you. The ambitious person's mind operates differently. Where others see obstacles, you see puzzles to solve. Where they see risk, you calculate opportunity. This fundamental difference in perception creates a cognitive distance that's difficult to bridge. You begin speaking a language others don't understand. Consider Steve Jobs and his infamous reality distortion field. His ability to envision what didn't yet exist alienated him from those who couldn't see past what was. This vision, this curse and blessing, is the first contributor to the ambitious person's loneliness. But there's something more insidious at work. When you achieve what few have, people begin to relate to your accomplishments rather than to you. They project their aspirations, insecurities, and assumptions onto the canvas of your life. The person you are becomes obscured by the symbol you represent. I've sat across from people who were meeting a projection of me, not me. They wanted advice, opportunity, or association, but connection? Rarely. In these moments, you realize that visibility is not the same as being seen. As your ambition bears fruit, the isolation intensifies through mechanisms you couldn't have anticipated at the outset. It begins with the collapse of shared experience. Your daily challenges become increasingly specialized and rarefied. Who understands the weight of decisions that affect hundreds of lives? Who comprehends the pressure of innovation when competitors are always at your heels? Your problems become good problems to have in others' eyes, invalidating your struggles and forcing you to process them alone. Then there's the burden of responsibility. Leadership often means carrying knowledge you cannot share, bearing uncertainties you cannot voice, and maintaining confidence when doubt gnaws at your core. As Roosevelt said, the credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood. What he didn't mention was how lonely that arena becomes when the crowd only witnesses your victories but never your battles. This responsibility extends to maintaining an image. Once successful, you're not allowed the luxury of ordinary human frailty. You cancel appearances because the mask is too heavy to wear that day. The world demands your strength, wisdom, and certainty, not your doubts, fears, or confusion. This performance exhausts the spirit and creates distance between your authentic self and the persona you present. Perhaps most painful is the suspicion that arises around relationships. When you have something many people want, whether influence, wealth, or opportunity, a question shadows every new connection. Would this person care about me without what I can provide? This doubt is not mere paranoia, it's a rational response to experiencing relationships that changed when circumstances did. I trusted someone completely, sharing professional opportunities and personal vulnerabilities. When a project failed and those opportunities evaporated, so did they. It changes you. Intimacy becomes a calculated risk rather than a natural human connection. There's also what psychologists call the tall poppy syndrome, the social tendency to discredit or disparage those who have achieved notable success. Former friends and colleagues sometimes become the most cutting critics, not because your work deserves criticism, but because your success triggers their insecurities. And perhaps most counterintuitive, with success often comes a shrinking world. Even though you gain more resources, you often experience less. Security concerns, public recognition, and time constraints create invisible barriers between you and authentic human interaction. The spontaneous moments that create true bonds start to disappear. Instead, you're left with planned meetings that serve a purpose but rarely nourish the soul. This is the crucible where many successful people find themselves, externally admired but internally isolated, influential but disconnected, respected but rarely understood. I won't insult you with simplistic solutions to this dilemma. There is no five-step plan to resolve the tension between extraordinary achievement and human connection, but there are paths through this wilderness that can lead to both meaningful success and authentic relationship. Recognize that selective vulnerability is not weakness, but wisdom. You cannot be transparent with everyone, but you must be transparent with someone. The ambitious often pride themselves on self-sufficiency, but this strength becomes a liability when it prevents necessary disclosure. Find the few who can handle your unvarnished truth without judgment or advantage-seeking. For me, this meant cultivating relationships outside my industry. My most trusted friend knows nothing about my professional field, but everything about my character. This separation creates a space where I exist as a person, not a position or achievement. In addition, practice intentional presence. Ambition naturally pulls your focus toward the future, the next goal, the coming challenge, the unfolding opportunity. This future orientation robs you of the present moment, where genuine connection happens. When you're with others, train yourself to fully arrive, mind, body, and attention. Another important step is to embrace the mentor-mentee dynamic as a unique form of connection. Those ahead of you on the path understand the terrain you're navigating. Those behind you remind you of the passion that launched your journey. Both relationships offer forms of understanding unavailable in peer relationships. True friendship exists when two people see in each other the potential of who they might become. This vision creates bonds that transcend ordinary connection. Consider that your loneliness might be a call toward deeper purpose, not just different relationships. Viktor Frankl observed that meaning emerges not from self-actualization, but from self-transcendence, reaching beyond yourself toward something greater. Perhaps your isolation is not merely a problem to solve, but a catalyst directing you toward contribution that alleviates the suffering of others. Many of history's greatest contributors channeled their isolation into innovation that connected humanity in new ways. Finally, accept that some degree of loneliness may be the necessary companion to unusual achievement. The unique vision that drives your ambition inherently creates some communicative distance. This is the natural consequence of seeing what others don't yet see. So to you, the ambitious one, feeling the weight of your solitary journey, you are not alone in your aloneness. Your experience is shared by those throughout history who dared to bring new realities into existence. Your loneliness is not a flaw in your character, but a byproduct of your courage to venture where others haven't. The truly successful person isn't the one who achieves greatness at the cost of relationship, nor the one who preserves relationship at the cost of greatness. It's the rare individual who recognizes that lasting impact requires both achievement and authentic human connection, and designs a life that nurtures each in its proper season.